I'm slightly loath to ask these questions. We are about to launch an inquiry into astronomy. And at our briefing last week, one of the questions was, what is the purpose of astronomy? And we were given some very excellent answers, but one of them was to look for the evidence of extraterrestrial life in any form. Let's not kid ourselves, we're looking for little green men. And I think that would fundamentally change our understanding of our place in the universe if we were to find evidence of life outside of Earth. If life were found in whatever form, does the government have a plan about how that would be shared with the public? Is it just trickle out of the 6 o'clock news, or is there,
Frustratingly, there isn't really a plan for any of this, which is a huge mistake because it's the ultimate low probability, high impact scenario.
In terms of the communication plan, that would depend on the exact specifics of the hypothetical that we're talking about.
You see why I'm loath to ask the question, because I can hear sniggering. Because actually, we are looking for it. You've just so I just wondered, where, how seriously that is taken, and it is taken to a level.
It's really extremely arrogant of us to think that we are alone. My name is Avi Loeb. I'm a professor of science at Harvard University, the director of the Institute for Theory and Computation there, and a former member of the President's Council on Science and Technology at the White House. There are hundreds of billions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and we now know that a fair fraction of them has a planet like the Earth. So if you don't search, you will not find anything. And the most important search that we can do is the search for partners, for a smarter kid on our cosmic block.
My name's Nick Pope. I was a civilian employee at the Ministry of Defence for 21 years, and for much of the early 90s, I was posted to a division where my job was to look at the UFO phenomenon. We had a wave of sightings in March 1993, dozens if not hundreds of sightings over a period of approximately 6 hours, huge triangular shaped craft capable of moving from a virtual hover to very high Mach speeds in an instant. I came in, of course, broadly skeptical, not really thinking that was anything to any of this. But when we had our own pilots seeing these things, and when they were performing speeds, maneuvers, and accelerations that seemed to go way beyond anything we had, I began to change my mind on this and think there was something strange going on in our skies.
I think we're going to discover alien life next year.
That's a big prediction.
These nascent moments of 2024, alien life will appear on planet Earth.
I think alien life is definitely out there.
I think there's a growing consensus that it's only a matter of time before we find alien life. Now, that might be microbial life in our solar system. It might be a signal, a radio signal from another civilization. It might be the detection of a probe in our solar system, depending on what we find, but particularly if it's a civilization. This is going to deeply and profoundly impact every aspect of our lives: politics, religion, science, technology, the economy, and much more besides. And yet we don't even have a one-page draft of a plan of what the heck to do. Who announces it? What do we say? If it's a message, do we reply? So we need a plan, and we don't have one.
If we ever discovered a signal from an alien civilization, I think it would be very hard to control. The discovery will be probably leaked to the media very quickly. Once the media will start communicating the discovery, of course, society will interpret these in ways that are still unknown. We don't know how the global public would react to such a discovery. There might be members of the public that might react in a very violent way, or we simply have no strong basis to confirm whether some people might really find this discovery extremely unsettling and potentially socially dangerous. In my opinion, no matter how much we prepare, no matter how many simulations, how many media articles, how many lectures you can give about the topic, it will be a scenario that will play out with its own rules at the time when it will happen.
There needs to be an international sort of task force deciding what to do about it. One would like to have linguists and also artificial intelligence systems that help us decode any signs we get from those. So I think it really depends on what the object is.
There have been rumors circulating in the astrophysics community since the beginning of 2024 that the James Webb Space Telescope has found something. Simply put, we're talking about the fingerprints of life detected on an exoplanet or maybe several exoplanets.
That would change our future. It could inspire us, it could teach us things because they might be far more advanced than we are. And it's an opportunity for us to grow. And I see that as the only remedy for the problems we have right now in geopolitics. You know, we have 2 wars going around the world, and most of our resources are invested in conflicts and killing each other on the surface of this rock that we happen to be born on.
You know, there's questions about, well, what would the impact be on society in terms of religious beliefs, in terms of geopolitics, in terms of technology and science, in terms of business and economics. I'd like to think, and I think those of us in this field would like to think, that the discovery of intelligent life beyond Earth might be a moment in human history that helps us unite as a species rather than continue to divide us. You don't have to go very far above the surface of our planet before you see no borders, you see no colors of skin, you see no, you know there's life, you know there's biology, you know there's an intelligent species there. But that's all. You don't see politics. You don't see boundaries and ethnicity and things like that from space. So maybe such a discovery would offer us a different perspective on what it means to be human and maybe bring us more close together. If a civilization has solved the kind of problems we face on our planet with nuclear proliferation and potential global pandemic and climate change and environmental crises, it's unlikely that they were able to do this by continuing to be malevolent, warring, violent species. In order to solve the kinds of problems we face, we're going to have to come together as a species on this planet and act as one and realize we all share this one island. It is an island with finite resources, finite abilities to absorb, the byproducts of our existence.
I read the newspapers every day, and it doesn't look as if we are the pinnacle of creation. We are making so many mistakes. There is a lot of room for improvement. As much as I would like to believe what John Lennon said, imagine all the people living in peace, I'm not that naive to think that it would happen by itself. I do think that we need the shock therapy, and that would come from finding a package in our mailbox of someone that is a role model, someone that accomplished much more than we did.
The way in which this subject has come from fringe to mainstream, there is still this giggle factor with some of this. And sometimes I think it's a nervous laugh, because I think there is this growing realization that this is becoming increasingly likely. But where there is a gap like this, the easiest thing to do is try and make a joke of it and move on and hope no one notices the fact that there is this glaring black hole in your policy that you don't have a plan. We need to get lots of people thinking about this, not just government planners, but psychologists, philosophers, psychiatrists, and the other 7 or 8 billion people on the face of the planet. I mean, we should all get a say in this. It's something that will affect everyone. Is there life elsewhere in the universe? I'm 99.9% certain. Have we been visited? I don't know, but I hope we find out. And if we do, it might come sooner rather than later. Bring it on.